entertainer. I wanted to sing, I wanted to act, I wanted to dance. From the moment I stepped foot on stage, at 6 years old, in the play Annie, I was like, this is what I want to do. I have to do this. I'm happy doing this. So I'm living it, and I'm very, very happy about it.
A trail of tears for Aaliyah. A horse-drawn carriage carried the fallen star's casket through the streets of New York, a somber procession reminiscent of the funeral for Princess Diana, who was also killed in a tragic accident exactly 4 years ago today. And just as the British royals mourned the loss of Diana, the royalty of African-American entertainment gathered on this day to remember the R&B princess, Aaliyah.
New evidence about the death of Aaliyah. The terrible end to the life of the Princess of R&B came in the Bahamas, where she was filming the music video for the song Rock the Boat. An air of mystery still surrounds the sad incident that took place on August 25, 2001, when a one-hour flight from the beachy coastlines of the Abaco Islands to Miami resulted in the deaths of 9 people, including the famous singer Aaliyah D. Haughton. Aaliyah's death was swiftly overshadowed by the September 11th attacks, which occurred while her loved ones and admirers were still coming to terms with her unexpected loss, and the investigation into the accident had just begun. Do you think this was all planned? Let's dig up the new evidence about her tragic end. Aaliyah, who was 22 years old when she died in an aircraft accident, was busier than she had ever been and was living out her aspirations of being a pop sensation. As a kid, Aaliyah had taken vocal lessons and tried out for several television shows because she was keen to have a career in the entertainment industry. Her uncle, Barry Hankerson, was an entertainment lawyer, and his ex-wife, Gladys Knight, was a soul singer. She became a household name after being signed to his label at the age of 12. Before she passed away, Aaliyah was unstoppable for a short period of time. One in a Million, her follow-up album, achieved double platinum success. Her Anastasia theme music was nominated for an Oscar. After receiving her first Grammy nomination in 1998, she went on to feature in the films The Queen of the Damned and Romeo Must Die. Aaliyah ended up spending her last days with the people she cared about most. She went to Miami to film the underwater shots for her single Rock the Boat, after hanging out with her lover Rockefeller Records tycoon Damon Dash in the East Hampton, Long Island mansion he shared with partner Jay-Z. However, on August 25, 2001, she and her crew finished filming a music video with filmmaker Hype Williams and headed back to Florida. Aaliyah's jet crashed just feet from Marsh Harbor Airport, and she was thrown 20 feet from the aircraft and crushed to death. She was a bright star that was extinguished at the peak of her splendor. 20 feet from the debris, her body was discovered. The bodies of those who perished were sent to the Princess Margaret Hospital mortuary in Nassau. Coroner's investigator, Dr. Giovanni Raju, said that Aaliyah's death was caused by severe burns and a strike to the head. Even if Aaliyah had survived the incident, Raju said she probably would have died from the bodily trauma she had sustained. On August 31, 2001, in Manhattan, there was a private burial ceremony for Aaliyah, followed by a procession with an estimated 800 attendees. There at New York's Ferncliff Cemetery in Hartsdale, she is finally at peace. In the years that have passed since the incident, there have been very few hypotheses put forth as to why the pilot chose to fly the airplane in the first place. Because the jet was carrying more people than it could safely carry, Aaliyah's crew and the pilot got into heated arguments. Almost immediately after the accident, it was determined that the tiny plane with 2 engines had been carrying more people and cargo than it was designed to carry, exceeding its maximum weight limit by several hundred pounds. In addition to this, the weight was not distributed uniformly throughout the aircraft, which would have made it more difficult to manage the aircraft once it was in the air. The pilot of the tragic flight was not only unqualified to operate the aircraft, but was also discovered to have alcohol as well as cocaine in his bloodstream. Aaliyah was widely regarded as one of the most unique and forward-thinking pop stars during her career. And even now, she is, according to a 2021 report on MTV News, her self-titled 2001 album still sounds like the future. Listening to just about any Aaliyah song on streaming resulted in automatic royalties being sent to R. Kelly, the album's composer, and Aaliyah's claimed abuser. The relationship between R. Kelly and Aaliyah was portrayed as a romantic one rather than as a tale of abuse by the media. According to the evidence found in the court documents, Aaliyah and Kelly were married in a secret ceremony in 1994, when Aaliyah was just 15 years old and Kelly was 27. The wedding was called off quickly, and both Kelly and Aaliyah denied that it ever happened. What's worse is that Aaliyah's uncle, Barry Hankerson, was the one who introduced R. Kelly to Aaliyah. When Aaliyah was just 12 years old, Hankerson took her into the studio and had her sing for Kelly. Hankerson was Kelly's manager at the time.
This is where I've got to draw the line, 'cause I refuse to let you think you could play with my mind.
Aaliyah and Kelly began working on her debut album titled Age Ain't Nothing But a Number in 1993, when Aaliyah was just 14 years old. It turned out to be a successful album. The song peaked at number 24 on the Billboard Hot 100 in May 1994, and Aaliyah was nominated for both an American Music Award and a Soul Train Award for her efforts. Some reviewers even went so far as to say they understood what made it so good: R. Kelly. Age Ain't Nothing But a Number sounded startling like an R. Kelly album instead of an Aaliyah album, even after Aaliyah had proven herself and her voice and everyone understood what an Aaliyah album sounded like. Record sequencer Jeff Sledge remarked to Vibe in 2014, "It was basically like listening to an R. Kelly album, but with a little girl singing." Obviously, the subject matter wasn't sexual, but the overall production and the sound of the record was like a Robert album as a little girl. Kelly appears determined to have the world believe that Aaliyah is a little version of himself, and not just in terms of the way her record sounds. Kimya Warfield Range, Aaliyah's stylist, claimed that Kelly asked that Aaliyah look like him for her videos, donning an oversized sweatshirt that revealed her midriff and dark sunglasses. Her own uncle gave her to a man who is already known as a creep in the industry? But why? It was also revealed that Aaliyah's uncle received a $90 million settlement when she died. So, is he the real culprit? If it's not her uncle, then who killed Aaliyah? The Illuminati? There has long been speculation that the Illuminati are behind Hollywood's power structure. It's therefore not surprising that many people believe Aaliyah was murdered at some sort of blood sacrifice, with Jay-Z, Beyonce, and Dash as the prime suspects. Some people might wonder why Beyonce is so popular. The two artists had very similar backgrounds in R&B and had side acting careers that were just getting started. For many, this demonstrated that the two singers were traveling in the same direction and that only one of them would be permitted to stay there. This idea holds that Beyonce was chosen by the Illuminati to continue the heritage. Well, that's all. I hope you enjoyed the video. Then give it a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel, and ring the notification bell button for more awesome videos just like this one. And keep an eye out for our next video.